All right, guys, I have to ask, which one matters more to you? The amount of views of what people are watching day one of Call of Duty compared to current Battlefield, or all-time peaks for Call of Duty versus Battlefield 6? YouTube! What's up, guys? In today's YouTube video, we're gonna have a conversation around Black Ops 7 that just released. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share with a friend. I'd really appreciate it. Even become a YouTube member if you want to support the channel any further. I'll catch you next one. Peace. All right, guys, so Black Ops 7 has just dropped the other day. I think a lot of people tried the beta because people were really debating on buying either Black Ops 7 or Battlefield 6 this year, because not everybody has $70 to spend on two separate games. And I totally understand that. Now, a lot of people are like, why do we compare the two games? Obviously, like, I don't know. Are you living under a rock, man? Come on. These two used to compete back in the day slightly. Now it's apparent that they're really going at it this year. I mean, honestly, at first, I did not think that there was going to be a crazy competition. I thought that we could just play both games, and you still can. Don't get me wrong. I would like to play both games. I keep saying it a million times over. I hope we have two really good games this year. But the thing is I think a lot of people are only going to buy one game at first, and then they will buy both games. The only reason I say they will buy both games and not just Battlefield 6, though, is because Call of Duty, in my opinion, actually feels pretty good this year. At first, I really didn't think they were going to go that crazy hard at each other for competition, and then Battlefield 6 just throws out this video the one day.
Showtime. Okay, boys, we're here to do one thing.
Who was that?
Doesn't matter. Let's move.
And now we all know that was just to totally make fun of Call of Duty and their crazy skins that we have seen over and over. I mean, dude, I still don't know why Nicki Minaj is in this game. Now, here's the thing. This footage in the background is me just playing one of my first games, just trying to get a feel for the movement and everything. I also haven't played a Call of Duty game in over a month. I have been so stuck on Battlefield 6 and Battlefield 6 RedSec specifically. I just think they really crushed it with that BR. I think one of the reasons it's so fun right now too is just because everybody sucks at it and nobody really has the feel or the idea or flow right now with it. Also, I feel like there's a bunch of different ways to go about playing the BR that's just way different. Whereas Warzone, you know, you kind of just get your stuff and just start fragging out and going like ASAP. You can still do that in RedSec, but it's just designed different. Not only Resurgence, but Warzone alone, just the BR just honestly kind of feels like, I don't know, a glorified multiplayer. It has to be the easiest battle royale in my opinion. Now, if we dive a little bit more into Black Ops 7 here, I'm easily skating around, and I kind of understand now. Like I said, it's been a while since I've played this. I kind of understand now why people are saying that it feels like you just skate around and just mindlessly frag out and stuff. I will say the aim assist is not there like it was in the past ones. I can notice that right away, especially coming off of Battlefield, which doesn't have too much aim assist right now. This game feels like it really doesn't have a lot of aim assist, which is really kind of causing a problem, I guess you could say, in the communities right now. I'm seeing a lot of people saying that it feels like they can't shoot, blah, blah, blah. And I feel like, unfortunately, they're going to buff it. I was one that thought maybe we should have some more recoil and less aim assist on guns a while back. I thought that'd be good because you could have a little bit of a skill gap and it really mattered with your gunplay. But I will say too, with the cheating going on in Call of Duty, it has not gotten better in my opinion. It has only gotten worse. And I feel like when people found out that you can make a lot of money selling cheats, it's just literally skyrocketed since then. And then there's a ton of people that even believe that people that don't cheat do cheat. And so then they get it because they have the mentality of, if you can't beat them, join them. And I will say, my one friend texted me last night and said, hey, first day on Black Ops 7, this cheater went 90-1 in his game. So it's very apparent that it's not fixed. It's not fixed. And unfortunately, another reason why people don't understand the SBMM is when there's SBMM, you get way more cheaters in your lobby. I think around the time you're 0.9 or 1 KD and higher, you kind of get stuck in those higher end lobbies with more cheaters too. And it's just not, it's not fun. It's not fun at all. And the people that casually play the game, maybe like once, twice a week, they don't experience that. They don't experience it at all, which is why they like the game and why they like SBMM. And I mean, I understand. I would be on their side too. I'd be like, yeah, don't give me those lobbies, you know? But the thing is SBMM literally ruins the game, and not just that aspect, but you shouldn't have to play it like it's ranked every second. It's a video game to have fun, and we don't want to lose sight of that. Now, as I lose my thought right here and get stuck on a different subject, the aim assist. I feel like they're going to buff it because they kind of have to. For one, that makes a lot of people that aren't too good at aiming realize how bad their aim stinks and they feel like they can't shoot anything. You know how people always say the Call of Duty feels really good? Like they say the gunplay feels really good, the movement feels really good. A lot of that gunplay is literally the game aiming for them. It is their aim assist. They think they are better because it glues to the guy. And especially when there's rotational aim assist where you move your left stick more than your right stick that aims, it just glues right to them. That's what people like the most because it's effortless. And I will say too, like I noticed when playing, for example, Battlefield 6, when I would get tired, I would start to get really bad aim because you have to actually aim in that game. When I would get tired with Call of Duty, I could still drop, you know, tons of kills, even in Warzone, 20 plus kill games with just being dead tired playing for 10 hours straight. I know, it kind of makes me sound like a degenerate, but you know, this is where we are. But I will say, I think they are going to add that back. Mouse and keyboard players though, it's your time to shine right now. A lot of them are loving it. They can actually fight against people, especially close quarters. Now, if we move on to the next thing, which would be campaign, obviously I have not played campaign yet, and I have heard nothing but terrible things about this. I mean, it's funny too, because I saw this thing today that it said, hey, this is what Call of Duty used to look like. This is what it looks like now for campaign. And it was obviously World War II era where they started from the roots, and yes, that makes a ton of sense. It does. But then people start to say, well, you can't just keep going with that whole realistic thing. Like, you know, it gets boring after a while. They're trying to spice things up, you know? And this is also the Black Ops world that does that stuff in their universe. But as I was kind of starting to think the same thing, Battlefield 6, again, came hitting hard this year. It made you feel like you were playing in an actual real life / movie. It is so cinematic, makes you feel like you are in the combat, and that's something Call of Duty could have done for years, and they still have not nailed it. I did hear the campaign, first side note, was bad on Battlefield 6 too, but I mean just in general, the whole gameplay. But yeah, I'm hearing some weird stuff, and like they hyped up this whole, they said this is going to be the best Black Ops all around, not just like multiplayer-wise or anything like that. It really kind of just seems like, one, the campaign sucked. Two, I will say this multiplayer is boring, guys. It is so boring. I thought the same thing in the beta. What made it fun for me was when they took SBMM out in the beta, and it instantly had the atmosphere and like the vibes of original Call of Duty games. Like this felt good to me, and I was actually having fun. I felt like I wasn't dying in 3 seconds. I felt like I wasn't running into cheaters. I felt like I could do like cool trick shots, 360s. I felt like I could do so much more because I didn't have to sweat and focus 24/7 just to play a game. To me, this felt like old school Call of Duty. And then they announced that, hey, we heard your feedback. We're listening. Black Ops 7 is going to have no SBMM in the game. Until the week of, they decided, you know what? It's going to be minimally considered in the game. So there is SBMM anyways, but minimally considered. So it's still there, guys, unfortunately. And then they also had the audacity to add another playlist that's just a standard mosh pit in case you want to play like ranked without the ranks. Like, what? It just makes no sense. And you know what stinks the most is I thought this game actually felt pretty good. This game felt like a polished version of Black Ops 6. And then we heard forever that Black Ops 6 was created for what, like 4 years or something like that, at a full rotation, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. And now the thing is they're saying, oh, well, that was just the filler game. It's so cringe, guys. They say that was just the filler game. This is the real game. And I will say, it does feel like this was the real game we should have gotten. But everyone's saying it's a DLC, you know. I don't think it should have been $70 at all. I don't think you can really justify that price for what you're getting in this game. Especially last year, we literally got nothing. It was a dead game off rip. All they had was the hype factor in the beginning, the new Omni movement, and then it was just dead in the water. They didn't listen to anything anyone said on the Warzone side or the multiplayer side. It was so bad. The only thing carrying it is the same thing carrying it again this year. Zombies. The zombies was good. I didn't play zombies last year. I played the zombies in this beta for Black Ops 7, though. This is the most fun I have had in a very long time on just a Call of Duty, but also, like, just zombies in general. I'm not a fan of like where they went with zombies. I'm an OG zombie player, Nazi zombies, and also Black Ops 1 and 2 zombies. That's where I stopped, was Black Ops 2 after Origins. And I can tell you what, this one was a lot of fun. You didn't get to move around too much in the beta too, and it felt good. It felt good. And they're also supposed to have the classic zombie mode, which is you start with the pistol, and it's supposed to be the classic way where you go up, and I'm excited to play that with a lot of my friends and stream that as well. But that's what I've always wanted, is them to go back to those classic modes. But it really does seem like zombies is carrying this game as a whole completely, which is insane to me. I think Treyarch should always just do zombies as a separate game itself. Make it $30, see how it does, you know? But, you know, the truth is they'll never branch off, because that's always their safe spot, too. Like, oh, well, if the game doesn't do well, we still have zombies that those communities will play. And people, you know, you got the people that are strictly zombies, strictly multiplayer, and then half and halves, you know? So they'll either go left or right on those ways. It's just a safe way to play it for them. But yeah, guys, you know, the multiplayer, it feels good. It feels good, I'm not gonna lie. And the vibes for Black Ops 2 are definitely there. They're definitely doing this instead of the remaster. Very smart in their way of doing it. But it does feel, and this is why I think it was so boring in the beta, is I realized in the beta, the movement is good. The gunplay is good. The maps were actually very good in my opinion. But it's just an exact reskin and maybe slightly polished version of Black Ops 6. And a lot of people say, hey, all it is, a new Call of Duty every year, is a reskin of, you know, the next COD. This, honestly, I always say, yes, it basically is, but the engine usually feels a little bit different. They do something like a little bit to tweak the movement, how the gunplay is slightly in each one, especially going from like an Infinity War game to a Sledgehammer game to a Treyarch game. They all feel different. Now, this is the first one, I think I 1000% agree. This feels exactly the same as last year's Call of Duty. It really, really does. And like I said, it's not a bad game. It really isn't. But man, for that factor that it's literally a reskin, it's just boring to me. It really unfortunately is. And I think if this game came out last year, oh my gosh, I think it would have been amazing. It would have gotten way more hype. They're saying too, we're gonna get so many different events, tons of camos. There's already a lot of camos that are really cool off rip, but they're saying we're gonna get a bunch of those this year, and like the first season's gonna be like the biggest ever launch with all the stuff we're gonna get in content wise. If they had that last year, man, they would be in such a good spot, but we just aren't. We lost the momentum after Modern Warfare 3, which was a great Call of Duty, and it didn't get as much hype because they did the same thing. They had Modern Warfare 2, which was trash, just like Black Ops 6, trash, and then they make up for it the next year. And I don't know if that's literally their plan, like, hey, we'll just do the filler game and then we'll make the next one really good, or if they're just like, they literally see the numbers going down and then they start doing something about it. Because it does seem like when Battlefield 6 again came out, that's when they started changing things, and they literally weren't going to listen to the communities until they saw how good Battlefield 6 did. And I'm seeing all these streamers going around just completely rage baiting and saying, hey, look at this, Battlefield 6 is already dead. You know, like, they're obviously getting paid by Call of Duty. You can't make that anymore, like stick it out anymore. But the thing is like, they're saying, oh, you know, Call of Duty numbers are up, Battlefield 6 numbers are down, and it's just like the Twitch charts of like who's watching what, which makes no sense. If you look at the actual player base and everything, Battlefield 6 has way more. And also just right off rip of like when they started playing, the amount of players they had, it's insane. If you want to go even further and see of all time players on release, like Battlefield had way more, arguably almost double of what Call of Duty had at their peak in 2022. Like the amount of players, it's not even a question. And I don't think a lot of people care who's watching what the most, especially because that was on the day Call of Duty released. There's probably a lot of people that didn't buy it and aren't playing it and wanted to see what it looks like. So it makes sense on the day of that a lot of people are going to be watching it, trying to see. But you know, I don't think people really care that much to play it and buy it. This year's COD is such a bust, and like I said, if it was last year, it would probably be amazing. I'm interested to know your thoughts on Black Ops 7. Let me know in the comments down below. Did you guys buy it? Are you playing it? Do you like it? I already gave you my thoughts. Little boring in my opinion. We'll see what happens. They're not even doing anything for Warzone. They said in spring, now they're moving up to January. We'll see what really happens with that. But I'm more excited for the zombie side of it. And who knows? Maybe I'll get into some search and destroy and stream that a little bit. But let me know in the comments, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.